Stop it. The sun's been up for more than an hour. The moon's down. Oh, it's those big construction boulder workers out there, huh? Are you staring at me upside down? Let's go. It's Tuesday. Tuesdays are good if you can get them. Mitt, you want to come outside? Come on. How did that happen? Mitt went rogue. See, the way this usually works is I open the door, I go out and get Rex's line, and then I hook up Steve. But when I was doing that, Mitt just snuck out. So Mitt, he made a break for it. Make a bark for it, T-Rex. You make a bark for it. Good boy. We are out the door at 8 a.m. on Tuesday, October 7th. I know it feels like August 37th because summer just will not quit here in New England. And we have stratocumulus clouds and a temperature of 62 degrees and heavy dew in the grass. So the dew point here is now up to 62 degrees. Really interesting though, first thing this morning, the temperature near Mount Washington down at the valley was in the upper 30s with a dew point in the upper 30s. And at the south coast of New England here from southeastern Massachusetts, Boston, westward to Connecticut, the temperature and the dew point in the 60s. Wow. And there's a front incoming, usually on Tuesdays. We call them Tuesdays are good if you can get them because we have high pressure. Well, I guess the old cold, now recently turned warm, high pressure system is still way out there, but it's not over New England. Look at that water. Mitt comes right over to the cat Mint. He does not get hooked up. Steve and T-Rex will make their way over here. We got up before sunrise to look west at the setting moon this morning. Did you have some strange dreams last night? I often have strange dreams. I was floating on my way to Nantucket and I ended up going fishing and the fish came out of the water and they purred and looked like Mitt the cat. So your strange dreams happen when you get these full moons, and especially because the moon is only 250,000 miles away from the Earth, they call it a supermoon. And then we also woke up when they dumped those boulders out of the huge Tonka truck. That happened at 7:22 a.m. And you come here for not just the meteorology and the weather, but more, including the animals. And we have a lot of meteorology to talk about this morning. The front that's coming to New England is going to generate the heaviest rain we've had in a couple of weeks, maybe the heaviest rain in a couple of months, depending on how things work out. Steve is making his way. He's got a line. T-Rex, of course, has gone underneath the table and is now stuck over here. And let's look at the National Hurricane Center. In my mind, I just did roulette. I'm going to start with the National Hurricane Center outlook here for the red X. That's looking formidable, isn't it? That's a big wave coming off of Africa, and NHC, National Hurricane Center, says it's almost certainly going to become a tropical cyclone, if not a hurricane, in the next 48 hours, and it would be named Jerry. And then on the left there, near the Yucatan Peninsula, you have a yellow X. That's just a lot of energy that's not coming our way immediately. But if we go to the satellite imagery over Central America and Mexico, there is a hurricane out there. There's a tropical storm. There's that the thing we're watching over the Yucatan Peninsula. All that energy may come into the southwestern United States and may play a role in our weather in New England next week. What about the next 24 hours? There's a front coming at New England that is generating some heavy rain. Last night in Ohio, near Columbus, Ohio, yesterday and last night, more than 2 inches of rain as we are getting some energy from the Gulf that's being incorporated. Southern stream trying to merge with the northern stream. And separately, I just want to talk about this in Florida, south from the Palm Coast down to about Port St. Lucie. 3 to 5 inches of rain again yesterday. Relentless rains in the east coast of Florida and wind too on the south side of these high pressure systems that have been coming into New England from Canada now since early summer. And initially they bring us the cool weather. Almost had to turn on the heat here when October opened, and then it turns warm, but they keep that flow coming in off the ocean there in Florida. Carl Weller Jr. there saying he's never seen rains like this. Talk more about that in a little while. And then I want to show this Ocean Prediction Center map. Yep, we're all over the place here. And the reason I show this is because it has that front that's been stalled like this for the last, 8-10 weeks, for the most part, from northwestern Europe, off the coast of Norway, through Scotland, and then all the way down to the Bahamas and Florida. And that front will take whatever happens with Jerry and recurve Jerry along that front. Here is the spaghetti plot. Jim Cantori posts these every morning, very reliable. If you want to see it, go to Jim's X account. And it shows the track of perhaps Hurricane Jerry, if not Tropical Storm Jerry, would be recurving, or Rick, I know you hate that word, recurving, turning from moving toward the west to turning toward moving toward the north and turning toward the east. Don't call it recurving. Just for you, Rick, I made that explanation on these systems that caught up from the tropics in the easterlies, then they get caught up in the westerlies, and it's happened with almost every one of them this season. The big wild card, though, is going to be what happens on the south side of this next cold high pressure system that's coming at New England behind this front. This morning's national advisories, watches, and warnings, all that blue there from Montana to North Dakota, hard freeze warnings. This is a very cold high pressure system coming in. It's going to outdo the one we just had with those temperatures in the 20s. We may actually have some teens in parts of Maine by Friday morning, and we may have some snow guns trying to fire up. All right, we got to take an accounting. I've just had my eyes closed thinking about all that. There's T-Rex wrapped around that, and he's Mitt over there, and Steve is up over there. I'm going to go clear these lines and come right back. All right, Steve normally wants to go this way. T-Rex, I cleared up T-Rex's line, and Mitt just sits there. Mitt will sit there all day long if I let him. And Steve goes over to Steve's chair and Steve's rock. And if you're new here, this is not your usual forecast. It's called Out the Door Weather and More, because you never know what else you're going to see. Break for birds, break for boats, break for clouds. And we always have our cats and dog. And the skunks make those holes right there. And TK has a garden going, and he's hoping to keep that garden going. And I know it would be helpful to not get the animals tangled if you put your summer furniture away. And if the summer weather would ever go away, I would consider that. But after this cold shot that's coming in next 48 hours, it may end up warm to record warm again next week. There's been a huge shift in the Euro guidance, but let's take it one day at a time. Yesterday, 83 and 84 degrees in Holton and Caribou, Maine. Reposted, not tweet anymore. It's called a repost by Jim Cantori from the National Weather Service in Caribou, talking about how it was the warmest October day on record in northern Maine. And we may do that again next Thursday if the Euro has its way. Meantime, here's the map for this evening from the Weather Prediction Center, and it shows this front. The primary low goes way up in northeastern Canada. A new wave of low pressure develops on the front, a new wave or two, enhancing rainfall with a connection from the Gulf. And it's a full latitude front that's going to bring heavy rain tonight with a thunderstorm to northern and western New England, then tomorrow morning and midday to southern and eastern New England. And then by Thursday morning, that cold air is rushing into New England. Here's the Thursday morning map. The front has moved out, and it had been windy and cold on Wednesday afternoon, but places may decouple on Thursday morning. I think it could be cold enough for snow guns, that first demo at Sunday River and Sugarloaf, and maybe Killington, although it's not as cold for Vermont as it is for Maine on Thursday morning. And as for any tropical systems, we may get a homebrew tropical system on the southeast coast behind that next cold high pressure system. So let's go to the action, which I love the most, which is the synoptic scale features. And if you watch every day, you get little hints on how these work. The L's and the H's, low pressure, high pressure. What is wind? Air. Wind is air moving from high to low pressure. So as you have a front coming at you, the wind comes in from the southwest as the showers and thunderstorms arrive tonight. And then they continue into tomorrow morning in eastern New England, and 1 to 3 inches of rain are possible. NAM actually gives 4 inches of rain to Mount Mansfield, Vermont. Kind of glossed over that. I should have gone to that. Too late. And then the cold air comes right in here tomorrow night. And then look at this, 540, 534, 528 thickness over Maine with all those isobars. Blue lines are thickness. It's a cold weather thing. And the Black lines are isobars. It's a windy weather thing, and the center of the blue H is the high pressure sinking air, but it will be unstable enough, and there will be just enough moisture that it will snow on Mount Washington on Thursday morning, but then Thursday night and Friday, that high comes right over us, and we have radiational cooling, so not windy, but cold, with temperatures in the 20s, 30s, and 40s. I don't think we're getting a hard freeze near Boston. I don't think my garden is jeopardy. And then that high moves off slowly. You have storms one after another coming in off the Pacific Ocean. You get the trough in the southwest. You get those subtropical things coming out of the Pacific Ocean. And look at the southern end of the high pressure system, a storm over South Carolina, which yesterday the Euro brought right up into New England on Sunday. Well, here it is on Sunday, and it's 500 miles to our south, with no rain coming at New England from that coastal system that could become subtropical storm Karen next week, a homebrew on the coast of the southeastern United States. The GFS would still bring that up into southern New England, so this is a real competition now between the GFS, which is consistent 2 days in a row, and the Euro, which is erratic with it not coming in, actually still there next Wednesday and Thursday going into South Carolina. Meantime, there's a storm with almost blizzard conditions going across the northern plains, and that goes up into Canada, and we freeze it at day 10 at 2 p.m. on Thursday, October 16th, and look at that, all those black lines and isobars over New England, windy west winds. What was a cold high turns into a warm to record warm high, and the 570 thickness is expansive from southeastern Canada to east of New England. That means we are in warm, and if it was summertime, I would call it hot. If it were summertime and we had longer days, you take the 570 and add 20 and you get 90 degrees. But if this verifies, and odds are pretty low, we would be 80 to 85 degrees again next Thursday after possibly having made snow this Thursday. I know a lot of my ski fans and snow rider fans can't wait for that to happen, but the weather comes in waves, and I think that the Euro is going to be wrong, and we'll see tomorrow if we don't get that coastal system to come back up into New England on Sunday night and Monday, and see if we don't stick with the cooler solution for late next week. But the weather pattern is shifting somewhat, at least for the next couple days. So that is the end of the weather part. Look at this, loose placing those giant boulders again. We call this the Weymouth Big Dig. There's another, Mitt just disappeared. See his tail? Mitt's around the corner over there. And so yesterday we traveled from Rhode Island, and we had some scenic vistas. We went and checked out the coast in Rhode Island before we left, and I'll have more on that. And right this second, I'm going to walk through this beautiful Montauk daisies, and tomatoes are still doing really well, and something's really digging over here. You know, I have a worm farm in there. Everything got rearranged last season. And what we're going to do is going to run over here to the neighbor's house. This is now leaving the former estate of Roger Kent over to the former estate of Don Kent. And my neighbors may be sleeping. Mitt, what are you doing, Mitt? You're not going in that house. Wrong house. Okay, here's... Yes. I just had to chase him out of the neighbor's yard. And now we chase you back. No? Freeze. Bird. Come on, Mitt. Let's go. This way. Go. It's quite a maze. Tim Kelly's junk yard here. And now he's back. I know, Steve. I know. He's kind of nutty. And more. 11:30 a.m. back to work Monday. Time to exit Newport, Rhode Island, where this, it's called the top of Newport. Deck was closed for the season before we got here, but they left the door open. Just enough for a weatherman to walk out and say, wow, what a view this could have been if we were here in August when it was open. Another cruise ship and cranes, and I'm sure they don't want me out here, but let's just go see what it looks like from the top of here. Cranes are pulling in some, they're gonna redo this roof or something. Anyhow, back north we go with a tailwind. Feels like it's 80 degrees out here right now. Great time in Newport. Thanks for having us. Some leaves blowing off the trees, but it is warm to hot and sticky now. I did not get to the bottom of how these beautiful flowers, I'm not even sure what they are, all lining this road get taken care of. Or, well, the town waters them, I was told, but who put them up and designed them? Brilliant. Gorgeous. Love it. Not in a hurry Monday. I said back to work. Well, this is work. Ellery Road in Newport. we break from over the top Halloween decorations. And you got the wind. What is wind? Outstanding. You win. Up top. Is this the lunch spot for mallards? Do you mind if I just walk by? You just sit there, point it into the wind. Guess you're pretty used to people. Just gonna go take a picture of those Halloween decorations over there. Satoost Point National Wildlife Refuge, a place for wildlife, habitat, and people. I don't think the dogs are invited. We're up on a hill here. I think we're in Middletown, looking over towards Newport. And there's Salve Regina over there, and coming along to Second Beach. And there's a tiny bit of surf down there. We're not going surfing here, but maybe this week in Massachusetts. I always say that. Maybe this week. A lot of farms. A lot of farms in Rhode Island. T-Rex knows where we are now. It says 85 on the dashboard thermometer. It's pretty accurate. The record for Logan today is 86 from 1990. Back here at the Gulf of Weymouth, where there are humans on the beach. At 2:22 p.m., not a cloud in the sky. And our trees are still pretty green right here. It's summer again. Oh, but the colors of autumn. Oh, the mums look good, don't they? T-Rex, are there some cats in there? What do you see? A rabbit? And our summer flowers are still hanging on too. And there they are. Hi kids. Do we need to turn the air conditioner on? And we've made it out to the yard. Mitt literally chilling on Mitt's patio. Interesting, speaking of patios. So there was a pretty heavy dew last night, and the temperature did get down into the 60s. Now, the sun doesn't hit this part of the cement, so that's pretty damp. So in other words, the dew didn't really evaporate from there. We see that a lot in the winter when we have a thaw and the ice stays right there. So an October thaw. Steve, you want to go over there? We got to undo your leash. Okay, Steve. And he understands too when he's free. And there's our swimmer. And I haven't gone down and said hello to him this season because my access to get down there is not as easy as it used to be. I used to be able to just scramble down the hill. It's a little more challenging. I'm up for it. I'm down with that. Look at this. So far, Logan has hit 84 degrees. The record's 86, so not quite a record there. But I believe on Blue Hill, we at least tied the record of 83 set in 1990. That same year, Boston hit 86. So we are in record warm. Day 3 in a row, isn't it? And when we add up all these first 5 days of October, although the first one was kind of chilly, wasn't it? It is probably the warmest opening to October since that year we can't get data for, 1881 and 1990, and 2 years ago, 2023. It's called High Amplitude Flow and a Warming Planet. Waves and waves. See that great wave in that flag right there. As we enjoy all this, Carl Weller Jr. down there south of Cape Canaveral in Florida says he can't remember so many days with training rains. Rain day after day on the Palm Coast of Florida. These fronts go down there and stall. These high pressure systems go out of Canada and then get to our south. It's been a trend for the last few months and could be a good sign for a snowy winter if we can get that jet stream to lift back north and keep getting these highs from Canada to come by. The system we're talking about for early next week would be pretty close to cold enough for snow if this were wintertime. So I'm seeing a lot of signs. It's going to be a good winter. Winter is coming. T-Rex laying on the cool floor. T-Rex, you want us to turn on the air conditioning? What is the temperature outside anyway? Oh, just 84 degrees, that's all. There it is. Mitt. Baking in the hot October sun. It's the full moon tonight. T-Rex, what do you see? What are you looking at? T-Rex wants to go over there, get rid of baby bunnies. You know what I see? I see Dee Dee and honey bunches. T-Rex wants to go down there and play with you. And very low tide. It's called the king tides with the super harvest moon, only 225,600 miles away from Earth. Water goes very low. We still get that summer swim platform in there. That's nice. At high tide, that thing's going to be double overhead on these young people that are going into the water here as the sun goes down. 6 p.m. straight up. Still see a little sunlight on your fur. Steve, you want to go in? Mitt? How about that breeze? That feel good? Yeah. And your October roses looking great. Still got a ton of tomatoes in our Montauk's, and the sun hitting the horizon here in just a few minutes. So this is a good time to just call it a day. Gorgeous. I know it's a little alarming to have several 80-degree days in a row, but we'll have plenty of 30-degree days in a row in January. Here's a time lapse from Weymouth first. It was a heavy dew. I don't think there was any fog here. There was certainly a lot of fog in inland areas as humidity came up a little bit today. A lot of it. It's 80 degrees inside the house. Almost time to turn on the air conditioning again. Not. So we got a Tuesday front, which is a little different than, well, we still have Tuesday high pressure to the south. And Cape Cod. I don't think we had any fog on Cape Cod. Yeah, there were probably some stratocumulus, weren't there? Just guessing. I don't really see these time lapses until the next day. So, call it yesterday's weather today. For a good reason. Sun sparkle. Moon's coming up behind me, but it's later and we don't have a view from here, so we'll take the sunset. Sun sparkle over Wessagusset. Soon it's Halloween and the sun will be over there by the Four River Bridge, but not yet. One more 80-degree day. Plenty to talk about, even when the weather is quiet. Bonus coverage of the illuminated cirrus cloud from the front, the Tuesday front. There it is over Boston. The Bruins start this week, right? And then coming across, and we can see the moon from our neighbor's deck, so we thought we'd come over to the neighbor's deck. And there's the harvest moon. So pretty. Super harvest moon. All right, talk to you tomorrow.